What's up again, everybody? This is Jose Gagnon, the super random guy, here again today. And we are finally going to be doing the very last two episodes of Season 7 of Thomas the Train Commentaries. This one's episode 25. It's called Trusty Rusty. The very last time that we're going to be seeing the narrow gauge engines, like just forever, since this is like the last season I'm going to be covering, for this series. So hopefully y'all going to enjoy it a lot, very much. Get the greatness, have the amazing happy times. You already know that things go here now. So let's get this video rolling right now. Yeah, woo, yeah, mans. You already know that things go here, everybody. Yeah, woo, yeah, mans.
Rusty repairs the railway that winds through the mountains on the island of Sodor. The little diesel checks that the tracks, tunnels and bridges are all in good working order. One day, Rusty was crossing the old wooden bridge. There was a big bump in the track. Rusty's driver stopped to check the bridge. "There are cracks in the supports," he said. "That could be dangerous," cried Rusty. "It might fall down if it's not repaired." And they hurried off to warn the other engines. The engines were waiting for their coal when Rusty arrived. "Don't use the old wooden bridge," said Rusty. "It's dangerous." "How would you know?" wheezed Duncan. "You're only a diesel." And he puffed crossly away. He didn't even wait for his coal. Rusty hurried down the mountain to tell the Fat Controller the bad news.
And as we just saw, a couple of minutes ago, Duncan's back to being rude to Rusty again. Even though, all the way back in Season 4, he ended up making up and, wanting to be friends with Rusty. But now, he's back to just, being rude to Rusty again for, no reason at all. Especially, because Rusty was just trying to warn them about, the big bump that was, on the bridge, on the wooden bridge. So I'm not really sure, why they had Duncan go back to being super rude to Rusty again for no reason. And at least, Rusty's doing the, the right thing here by going to tell Sir Topham Hatt about it too. So that way, he knows, that, no one can go to, puff onto the bridge at all, since it has to be repaired and stuff. So, Rusty, he's doing everything right that he needs to do, right, pretty much, so.
"Thank you," said the Fat Controller. "I'll send engineers to investigate the bridge. Meanwhile, nobody is to use it." Rusty's driver put up a sign, "Line closed." The engines had to travel a different way. Meanwhile, Duncan needed more coal to get home. But when he arrived at the coal bunker, it was empty. "Bother, I won't get home without more coal. Where's the nearest bunker?" "On the other side of the old wooden bridge, but you can't cross. Rusty says it's not safe." Rusty always makes things sound worse than they are." "I'm sure one trip across the old wooden bridge won't hurt," added his driver. When they got to the junction, Duncan's driver removed the sign. And they set off towards the bridge. This was a big mistake. Suddenly, Duncan hissed to a halt. "I'm out of steam." He had used up all his coal. "What's that?" he asked nervously. His driver looked out. The old wooden bridge was starting to collapse.
Now he's really made a really stupid mistake, because, and he ended up crossing the bridge, first of all, when he was told that he wasn't supposed to. And now he ended up, just like running out of coal on the bridge, and it's starting to break apart. So, he just chose not to follow directions, and now he's gonna be in super big problems unless someone can go and save him right away. So I don't know why, he chose not to listen about, not going past the, not, like not taking the puffing onto the old bridge at all, since there was a big bump and now it's starting to collapse. So Duncan just always ends up getting into problems, a lot in this show, as we've seen so far. And that's how they're like doing like the last thing, like for like the last narrow gauge episode is just him having, another problem, as he always does. So we're gonna see what's gonna be happening here now in a couple minutes.
Rusty, called Skarloey. Duncan has gone across the bridge. I'd better check he's all right, the little diesel said. But the cracks in the supports were getting larger. A beam snapped. Timber pieces splashed into the water below. Help! Whistled Duncan. I'm going to fall! But Rusty was on the way. Soon the little diesel reached the old wooden bridge. Duncan had never looked so scared. Rusty chuffed bravely onto the bridge. Careful, gasped Duncan. Soon they were coupled up. Hold on, said Rusty. Oh! Shouted Duncan.
It was a good thing that Skarloey, ended up telling Rusty where Duncan was, because he would have fallen off that bridge and right into the lake or the river or whatever, underneath the bridge. So it's a good thing, like that Skarloey told Rusty, and also that Rusty was passing by right as, Skarloey was hanging around pretty much. So he's super lucky that he didn't fall off that bridge, you know what I mean? And Rusty came to get him right away. So at least, Duncan ended up, getting saved, right away pretty much. So he had a lot of luck on his side pretty much.
The little diesel pulled him off the bridge just in time. The Fat Controller was cross. That was very irresponsible. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. And Rusty, you were very brave. Yes, Rusty. You really are a useful engine. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Junk, what the heck happened?
Rusty felt very...
So that was episode 25. Trusty Rusty. Like I said, the very last time that we're going to be seeing, the narrow gauge engines. This is like the last episode that they, that has them in this season. So now we're going to be going on to the very last episode of season 7 altogether. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it a lot. Get the greatness. Have the amazing happy times, everybody. We'll see you in the next video coming up right now. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, mans. You already know that things go here now, everybody. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, mans.